Hello, dear students. Last time we studied complex number, we have seen how to find the modulus of a complex number, and also we have seen how to find a square root of a complex number. Today we are going to study linear equations in set of complex number, where we are going to study what a linear equations is and how to solve linear equations. And also, we are going to study quadratic equations and how to solve questions in quadratic equations. We normally know that in algebraic equation, you can be given equation of such kind where you've asked to solve. And we know that this is a linear equation, but in algebraic equation, it is a linear because the highest power of an unknown variable is 1. When the highest power of an unknown variable is 1, it means the equation is a linear equation. To solve this, it is to find the value of x. We start by collecting like terms together and we get 3x to be equal to 8 minus 3. This is 3 must be in the other side, and you get 3x to be equal to 5. And in solving for x, we shall get that x is equal to 5 over 3. To mean this value of x, it is the number that can be satisfying our equations. To mean, by writing the solution, we shall say that the solution of our equation is 5 over 3. This is an algebraic equation. So, an equation in a complex number, we can also have an equation of the first degree, to mean the highest power is 1. Let's look how to solve such questions. For instance, we've asked to find the value of z if 4z plus 5i is equal to 12 minus I. This is an equation, it is a complex number, and we need to find an unknown variable z. And in a previous lesson, we have studied that when in equation there is letter z, it means this stands for a complex number. And to find our value of z, also we need to collect like terms together, real part and what I think we have studied in the previous lesson, and we shall have 4z to be equal to this 5i needed to be in other side, and we get 12 minus I again minus 5i. If we collect the like terms together, we shall get 4z to be equal to 12 minus 6i. And remember, the question is to find the value of z. To mean in my equation, I need to find this z. So we get that z will be, I can divide 4 for both sides like this, and I get z to be equal to 12 over 4. I get 3 minus, here we can simplify by 2, and we remains with the 3 over 2i, and this will be the value of z. And as in our equation is a complex number, to mean the value of z also must have the two parts. I think we have studied the parts of complex number. This is real part, real part, and this is imaginary part. And remember, imaginary part is characterized by imaginary unity. I think this is how to solve a linear equation. And don't forget that linear equation also, it is an equation of the first degree, which means equation which have the highest power of an unknown variable is 1. Let us look for quadratic equation. For the quadratic equation, a quadratic equation, it is equation that has of the second degree. To mean, it is equation on which the highest power of an unknown variable is 2. Remember, if you consider by considering our equation, you shall find az squared plus bz plus c. You can see that our unknown variable is z, which means our equation is in complex number. And the highest power, it is 2, which means it is a quadratic equation. Those questions, to solve those questions, what do we need? We need first, we need the value of z that may satisfy our equation. And remember that in solving such equation, we may have the following results. We may have two real roots. When we are applying the delta calculation of the delta, we may have 2 real roots. But in case delta is greater than 0, to mean there will be z1 and z2, where z1 will be equal to minus b plus square root of the delta over 2a. And for z2, it will be minus b minus square root of delta over 2a. To mean, in case when you are solving a quadratic equation, in case you got that delta is greater than 0, you get the 2 distinct roots. But in case we can get you can get a double real roots. You can get double real root in case you find that your delta it is equal to 0, which means z1 may be equal to z, or it must be equal to z2, which will be equal to minus b over 2a. In case you are solving and you get that your delta is equal to 0, you shall get you shall get the same 2 roots, and which will be equal to minus b over 2a. On the third cases, you may have to conjugate complex roots in case your delta is less than 0. And remember, if you are solving after finding the delta, you need first to find its square root. And remember, square root of delta, you need to find square root of a delta. And as if you find that delta is less than 0, it means it is a negative. And the square root of a negative brought you to the complex number, which means you will get two complex roots. Let us look for an example. Let us take an example. We are going to solve in a complex number our equation. So to solve, normally it is a quadratic equation because the highest power of an unknown variable it is 2. To mean I need to find delta. And the delta we normally know that is given by b squared minus 4ac, which means our delta will be equal to b squared, it is 1. And 1 squared you get 1 minus 4 times a, it is equal to 1. Here it is 1. 1 times c also it is 1. And you shall get that our delta will be equal to 1 minus 4, which is minus 3. And you need normally to find the square root out of the delta. Remember, our delta we got minus 3. And we know if delta is less than 0, we get two conjugate complex roots. To mean we are going to find the two roots which may satisfy our equation. Normally, because we need to find the square root of delta, and it means it is the square root of minus 3. And the square root of a negative in a real number, we know it is impossible. We have to assign, or we have to introduce imaginary unity, which means it may be equal to, we know that I squared it is equivalent to minus 1. If you replace this negative by I squared, you shall get 3I squared and the square root. That is how our delta will be. And all in all, you shall get that our delta will be square root of 3 times I, because the square root of I squared gives I. After getting the delta, we continue to find Z1 and Z2 and Z2. We know that Z1, it is given by, we have studied that Z1 will be given by minus b plus root of delta over 2a, which means we shall get b, it is 1 on our question. B it is 1. You can see b it is 1. You shall get minus 1 plus square root of 3i over 2. This will be the first root, and the z2 will be given by minus b minus square root of delta over 2a. And all in all, we know that b it is equal to 1, and minus b will be minus 1 minus square root of delta is the root of 3i over 2, and also this will be the second root. And because the question was to solve, and it means we need to find the numbers z that can satisfy our given equation, we need to write the solution. And the solution for our equation will be, we need z1 and z2. You can see that is z1, it is minus 1 plus root of 3i over 2, and minus 1 minus root of 3I over 2. This will be the solution of our complex equation. Thank you for following this video. I think by the next time we shall be looking for the equations of highest degree, means more than power 2, or means you can have a complex number which have highest power is maybe 3, 4 and so forth. Thank you for watching.